But +1, action.
So how are you feeling today?
Nervous,
Nervous. Why nervous?
but excited.
Okay.
You know what I mean? This is it's a big vision, it's a big plan, it's a big venture, but you ready? I'm super excited to get started.
Okay, nice. So just a countdown because it's just like a few more days and celebrating. So
Don't
every day is
remind me.
probably like a new experience before Sunday.
Every day is a new experience, a new challenge. Just when I thought everything ready to go, something popping up, but you know what I mean? Silver, big, gold, and ready to get on it.
So I know you probably already know this because I mean you're an excellent writer and artist. So I did some research on Ryan, Levi, Nathanael. So you would know the meaning behind your names already, correct?
Yes.
Right. I didn't think about it, but I think not much people probably know. And I found it was so beautiful because I found like all the meanings come together was just like a sentence by itself.
Right.
You know, and just looking at Ryan meaning like little king.
Right.
And Levi joined in harmony, and then Nathanael being God's gift.
Right.
You know, and I found that was such a great concept because of who you are and the things that you do is like you already live up to your name. You
Bless
know?
God for that. Bless God
I
for
can
that.
take that because actually the meaning of my name is God's gift as well.
Serious?
Yes, so I understand what that means because you basically like,
We are gifts.
yeah, and you
From
remember you're a
God.
gift to the world. And God already made that okay, you're a gift to the world, and everybody who came in contact with you
Right.
feel that gift. So,
That's how I feel right now when said
yeah.
that is a gift right now. This moment is a
Yeah,
gift.
it is, it is. It
Yeah.
definitely is. So, let's do some casual questions. Let's hear what's your favorite color?
Black.
Black, why?
I don't like colors that actually force me to wear this today.
Yeah, because it's very bright.
It's
It's
a
very
lot.
bright.
It's a
Yes.
lot, but my preference is black.
Nice. What's your favorite calypso singer?
That's a tough one, boy. I might give it to her short, yeah?
Okay, nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lord Shorty, enter her short, yeah?
Of
Yeah,
course, nice. That's a nice
definitely.
one. What's your pet peeve? What do you have low tolerance for?
Insensitivity, especially to marginalized. So like younger children or the elderly or somebody who not well off, I can't see too much inconsiderate actions and behavior towards them.
Okay,
Yeah,
you
that's-
want to tell us like a quick story? What happened and you just really reached to that climax?
I can't tell you that on camera, I'll tell you
Okay.
that off camera because I don't want to get too much into my reaction to some
Okay,
things.
okay, I
yeah,
understand,
yeah.
but as a pet peeve.
But
yeah.
I can't see that at all. I can't see that at all.
Okay, nice. And what brings you joy?
Joy, music, definitely music,
We can see
creating music. I mean, just being able to express whatever thoughts, beliefs, ideas, just put it into art. Yeah, I think that's a beautiful experience.
Okay, nice. What's your idea? Like, what's the best Sunday lunch in your books?
Depend on my mood, boy. Depend on my mood. It could be simple.
Right?
I love pies.
Right.
Anything with pie, macaroni pie,
Shepherd's
lasagna,
pie.
corn pie, shepherd pie, anything looking like pie, I like pie. But I also love roti.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, yeah. If
yeah.
you trickle some bus up shot on the road, I'll follow you home. I swear.
Okay, nice. What's your favorite flavor ice cream?
Actually, not supposed to consume dairy,
Okay.
but I love cookies and cream.
Oh, nice, nice,
Yeah.
nice. That's good. That's
Yeah.
good. What is your favorite shoe brand or sneakers brand or?
I do have a favorite shoe. man.
Okay, so
once
you
I
like one?
once I like the look, yeah, we're going with it.
Okay, nice. And what's your favorite genre of movies? We understand the music, but your genre of movies?
Movies, I like action, thrillers, but I like comedy. You know what I mean? Some light, some chill.
What's the first comedy coming to your mind now?
Right now,
Say it, huh? Don't worry.
Fresh
just
Prince of Bel-Air.
Fresh Prince of
Yeah.
Bel-Air. Nice. So you probably used to watch that a lot growing up.
Yeah, I
and
watch
stuff.
a lot of Fresh Prince growing up.
Okay, nice.
For sure.
So speaking about growing up, can you tell us a little bit like what's your favorite childhood memory?
I have a lot. But I think the one that always stands out is my dad.
Okay.
I love football. Football didn't love me. But I used to play it a lot. You know what I mean? School teams and stuff. And I remember we living in Jamaica. We didn't have much. We were well off.
Right.
So I took our old home jersey
Right.
and I cut out pages of a magazine and I made the number 10.
Oh.
And I stuck it on the back of the jersey with like some crazy glue and stuff. Because we had a football game the next day and they tell us, well, bring what you have. We didn't have much on no football clothes, no football shoes or whatever. I mean, on the field thing, everybody watching me laughing at my jersey. But that's what we had.
Yeah.
And I remember right before the game started, I seen a man running through the savannah. He's like, Ryan. And I see my dad with a plastic bag and he just pull out his jersey. Yeah, a football jersey with the number 10 on it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, like that was it. That never came out of my mind. So that's a real special. That's my favorite childhood memory ever.
Yeah, that is special indeed. And talking about your dad, if you have to think about a phrase to describe him, what that would be?
Wise. Yeah, wise.
Why?
Because he's very wise. Sound advice, you know what I mean? He still us in the right path, give us the balance. You know, he's a pastor, so it wasn't easy being a pastor's son, but he also made sure that we weren't just pastors' children, but just children, you know what I mean? So make sure that we had that little spiritual backing, but also opportunity and space to grow and be yourself.
So let's go back to that. It wasn't easy. How did you cope being a pastor's son? Because I mean, you have to deal with expectations from your parents and also the church and others. So how was that for you?
I think for me, most of the pressure came from outside.
Right.
Not inside. Inside, we're just sons, but outside, people know who you are, you know what I mean? So you're not doing the wrong thing and you stay to one side. You say, boy, you feel better than everybody, church boy, thing. You try to fit in. I said, boy, aren't you supposed to be at church, man? They said, you had those little battles, but for the most part, I think for me, not having too much pressure within the home environment made it simpler for me to go there because you know that, hey, I have a certain level of love and support at home. Yeah.
Okay, and what would be advice for like PKs and pastors' children who probably struggling with that? Because you know, different families would not be as fortunate with that balance for you. So what would you tell them?
I mean, for me, I think it's a matter of knowing God for yourself.
Right.
As simple as I could put it. Get to know God for yourself. And find community. Some things you can't do alone. You might get it home, you might get in church, but if you can get people like-minded that can help you, that can bounce off your ideas, your issues, your challenges, and grow with you, then I think that's important.
And your dad being a pastor and the career and direction that God has for your life, how was that within his support for you?
In terms of the music?
Yeah, the music and the career.
Yeah, well, they were instrumental, Dad and Mom, in terms of pushing me into music in the first place. I think with a lot of artists, you find that they develop their crafts in church. You know, yeah, church choir, there's school choir, playing with the youth bands and stuff. So for me, it was an encouragement to express yourself, but within the church environment. So in church, we used to be rapping and singing dancehall and reggae, playing keyboard and stuff. So, you know, I mean, it created that platform for us to be comfortable expressing our praise and worship in our own style.
Yeah, I think that's important because what you do, you got that space to just be you, to blossom in who you are.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So maybe we definitely will let parents remember this when they hear it.
Give them that space, let them be themselves and just encourage the content, you know what I mean? But,
correct.
Yeah.
So on your mom, as you reflect on your mom, what comes to your mind?
Support are number one. Number one fan. Yeah, you know what I mean? God bless her soul. But mommy was the one that actually pushed me into piano and getting involved in music. No song could play on radio of mine and I don't get a message, hey, you're on this station now, this song playing, keep it up.
Nice,
And, you know, I mean, when I was working on my first album, you know, she'd come in the room, I'm listening to the songs. If you got a little dance, then I know, like, this tune going, you know, she's like, I like this, what's this, you know what I mean? She, number one supporter.
Nice. So how did you cope with the grief of losing your mom? Or how has it been still?
Progressive. I think some days are better than some. Initial stages, it did shut me down a bit. But I think for me, reflecting on the memories and reflecting on the good moments and using that to kind of propel forward as in, you know what, this is where she would want me, this is what she would want to see. And you kind of use the good memories to
kind of help.
Yeah, to step forward.
So, like, I know you probably would have had some really hard moments with her. You want to share a little bit about those moments of that season for you?
I think the hardest moment would probably be seeing her like unresponsive and stuff in the hospital. I don't think it had anything to do with like if you pay you for that kind of situation and knowing that there's absolutely nothing you or anybody could do. And it's just a waiting game. You're praying for a miracle.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean, God's will be done. You know, and just being in that crossroads where you are helpless, somebody's helpless. Yeah, I think for me that's the toughest part. Kind of mess with my faith a little bit too, because it's like, what is this? You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, God was faithful.
Yeah, he was. And he always is. And he never loses a battle.
Sure.
What would be your advice for someone who's going through that grief right now?
I think my biggest lesson with grief and loss is to take your time on your time. You know what I mean? People always have some kind of diagnosis or prescription. Do this, don't cry in heaven. For me, let the process run its course. You know what I mean? Cry if you had to cry. Be sad if you had to be sad. Take a little time for yourself if you need your time. You know what I mean? If you need to lock away, listen to a little music, some praise and worship. Do what you had to do to heal now. Don't let people force your process. Take care over it or whatever. Take your time and deal with what affected you.
Yeah, and don't numb the pain too.
Facts. I tried.
Yeah.
It don't work at all, you know. I got into a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
That couple months, probably like a year, was tough. Because you try different things to cope that really and truly just temporary, and you end up kind of damaging yourself more.
Yeah, correct. It does. And it gives more, you'll have more things to deal with because you're burying yourself deeper and deeper into pits. Yeah.
True.
So, your firstborn.
Correct.
And Han firstborn, birth order is a big thing for me. So I think it's a big thing for you too.
It has to be. It has to be. It has to be.
Yeah. And how has it been being the older brother?
It's cool. Me and my bro actually very close. About 3 years apart, but very similar. Yeah, same passion for God, same passion for music. So we kind of collaborate since small, and it's a team basically. I have a teammate at home, and that's somebody that works alongside me a lot in music. You know, we had the Fisherman Project team we started.
Yes.
That's me and him. We have the band for the show. He's our mainstay. He writes and produces as well. So yeah, we have a pretty strong connection.
And that relationship has continued from since childhood even to adulthood.
That's correct. That's correct.
Nice. Let's talk a little bit about the album. Right? So I would have had one or two songs that I would love, right? But I just want to touch on a couple of them, right? So Time With You.
Correct.
Time With You, to me, is a love language. It's one of the love languages, right? Which is time. Could you talk a little bit in terms of like why did you choose that specific love language to sing about?
For me, in terms of the project in its entirety,
yeah,
better always for a lot of people was just weddings.
Right.
And that aspect I love, the ceremony, the moment itself. Forever plus one for me was I wanted to get into different aspects I love. Your love languages, esteem, self-worth, confidence, you know what I mean, fear. Just to kind of touch on different aspects. Time With You was exactly what you said, that song where you say, you know what, quality time. I think coming out of the pandemic, we see how much we take people and things for granted. And for me, it was important to have something that said, you know what, I want to make time for this person. I want to share time with this person, and I don't want it to just happen. I want to block it. I want to be intentional about the time I spent with you.
So would you say that time is one of your love languages?
Yes, and no, and yes. But there.
Because everybody have probably all five, but I feel like time probably is one of them.
But it's not a high one. I don't think it's a high one.
So what is it? Because I'm sure your fans and persons will probably want to know what
they
is
don't need
you don't need to know love language here, right?
But time was on. Time in there. Time in there, for sure.
Okay, nice. Okay. Phobia. Do It Afraid.
Correct.
You spoke about fear just now.
Right.
I just want to read a specific parts, right, that stood out. And that if this love was a mountain that I needed to climb, because that's the only way we'd survive, even though so scared of. If love fell in ocean and I needed to dive, just so I could keep it alive and find me in deep, because I Was there a moment where you were afraid to love?
Let's say yes.
Okay.
Yeah, let's say yes.
And did you, so I see how you compared with the lyrics in terms of something because of being fear of something like heights. So did you overcome that fear at that moment with that love?
Condescend. That's Nah, yeah, I think we all been there, to be honest.
Yeah,
you know
but
what I mean?
you.
But we all, you know what I mean? But me,
Yeah.
I think sometimes disappointments, expectations that were not met, you know what I mean, could force you into a space where you don't want to do something again,
Yeah.
the love included. And for me, you know what I mean, like, you know what, I'm not sure if I want to put myself in a
Yeah.
place for certain things to reoccur or
Correct.
happen again. And that song was basically an encouragement to say, you know what, in spite of hurt and hate,
Yeah.
sometimes you find genuine things.
course.
And you miss it because of being blinded by whatever past experience you have.
Correct.
And that song was just saying to love past the hurt
Yeah.
and love past the fear of being hurt again.
Exactly. Okay, that's good. And I think we all, because we all have like walls up sometimes.
True.
And our walls sometimes present itself as strength
Right.
and contentment, but then we have to pass that.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. We, everybody.
Yes, yes.
Right.
And you know?
And you.
Yeah.
She's right. You.
Um,
And her too. And her too.
Yeah. So being a Christian, and especially growing up in a Christian home, and I could relate to that, having grounded parents, elders, pastors. So we know definitely what the Word of God says with being unequally yoked.
Right.
Was there a time in your life that you were unequally yoked, and how has that impacted your life?
What? So into this steam, you're right. Yes, I believe so. In terms of spiritually,
Yeah,
you connect where you and somebody on two different pages.
true.
What was the second part of the question?
How has it impacted you? And you could just go straight into what would be the advice for someone, a Christian probably struggling in that area, or think it's not even a struggle.
You know, I heard someone say, learn to burn oil. You burn to learn or you learn to burn. You know, my little brother says that all the time. I think for me, I learned that whenever isn't a connection in terms of your vision and your mindset, whether spiritually, emotionally, mentally, you can run into problems and it could be damaging not just for you but for the other person. So like-mindedness is very important in terms of partner selection. And I don't want to go too deep into that. I feel like that's enough for them right there. Yeah.
No, we understand because it's an important thing, and it's
Yeah.
something that people really should not take for granted.
True.
And because it goes back to the point I said something powerful there about vision, because your vision have a lot to do with who you really decide to go with, have a lot to do with
True.
where you'll end up.
Facts.
You know, so not only being unequally yoked, but your vision, and as you said, your like-mindedness.
That's
You
good.
want to touch on anything? We could continue.
No, I find that was good.
Okay. So let's dive into you a little bit, right? Because we talk about you are known for love music and your brand in that. Now, what influenced you to make your brand, Nathanael, that brand, be known for love music?
The truth is, I wasn't trying to be known for love music.
Okay.
You know, I've tried not to be known as the better or worse guy.
Why?
I've gone to shows and sang everything else but that, and they say, come back and sing this.
Right.
That was initially a one-off. You know what I mean? Coming from a place where I've done secular music and produced and written secular music before, and I saw the impact of the words in terms of the messages that we propagated, especially as it relates to male and female relationships and how men interact with women. And you get a whole objectification of women. You get talks about having multiple partners. You celebrate all that stuff. And for me, coming from that place, I was like, you know what? I feel like from that biblical perspective, we
Right.
could respond to that and represent something a little more healthier, and some that genuinely reflects what love should look like,
Yeah.
sound like, feel like. And that was a major motivation for me
Right.
doing the little one-off songs every
Okay.
now and again. And one of those one-off songs, the people just held on to it, and I mean, I feel like it just went from there,
Yeah.
for better or worse, and we here now.
So it kind of like if the brand chose you.
I genuinely believe that.
Yeah,
I genuinely
That's
believe
good.
that.
That's purpose too.
Yeah.
That's purpose too in a very unique way. So, talking about the album, talking about the music, the brand that you're known for, Ryan, describe the season you are in presently.
I think when we're talking brand, we're talking purpose. So I feel like in this season, that's where I'm supposed to be. Taking the music and faith-based perspective and sharing those messages with the world, particularly as it relates to love, romance, relationships, and sometimes other social issues, whether violence, crime, but I feel like that's the season I am, where I want to take our message, put it in the music, and that's what I want to share with the world.
So that would be like with music, right? So sometimes I could be like a deep thinker and it could see kind of beyond, right?
But you don't want to ask that next question.
Right? So
You sure?
what is motivating you or causing you to be vulnerable in this season? Something is triggering you or giving you that to be vulnerable.
That's
your
the vibe,
music
yeah?
is vulnerable. Yeah, your music is vulnerable,
Right.
and this interview is you choosing to be vulnerable.
True.
Why?
I just feel like people need genuine. They don't need the fake, and I feel like the music, the platform, but even behind that, you know, gotta be real and true to form. So I just felt like that's where I want to be,
Okay.
and that's what I'm going to do.
And how would you encourage others in terms of that vulnerability?
I feel like we all made who we are for a reason and a
Yes.
purpose, and it's just a matter of talking to God, find your thing, and go do that.
Correct.
Yeah.
And well, I must say brave vulnerability is something that it definitely push for, especially when you're chosen and positioned publicly. Because too many times people will just see the music and see the art, what you
Sure.
do, but who is the man behind the music?
Correct.
And choosing to be brave is important, because what you will now do is you will now encourage others not only with music but by your story. And when we think about stories, we think about different things that we would go through in order to be who we are today. We would have probably touched on, losing your mom, touched on significant moments with your dad, touched on you just choosing, yes, relationships where you've gotten hurt, unequally, okay, it doesn't matter, However, there's always specific defining moments, and I call it your becoming stories, right? And becoming means that you're never really there. And it's usually a lesson learned based on mistakes.
Right.
And I would have made mistakes that would have caused me to be who I am today. And what would you say would be your moments of your lessons learned moment, your becoming moment? When you realize, Ryan, you're not there yet.
Right.
You're still living this thing.
To me, I feel like that's an everyday thing. Of course, there's some real crucial ones along the way, but I feel like every day is an opportunity to learn from your mistakes. Musically, I've made a few, a lot. I think that's how we grow, that's how we develop. And of course, in life, you don't always get things right.
Right.
I know I've been very
Yes, so what's the
generic.
personal? Let's talk about the crucial. Let's
wanna
talk
go
about one of
deeper.
the personal ones. Let's just talk.
We could go post. I think in terms of music as an artist,
Okay.
yeah. When things are going your way, a lot of attention and stuff, you could get this thing, could
Correct.
get very swollen.
We're blinded by our own
Yeah, you
spotlights.
could get totally sidetracked from your vision and the purpose of what you do in terms of blessing people, and you actually just start looking at yourself.
Correct.
I think for me that was one of the major stumbling blocks when I just started.
Yeah.
To try to get your head back in the game regardless of where your position, regardless of your progress, to always remain true and focused on your purpose. So that'll be one main one, and I'd send that as an encouragement to anybody. Always tie yourself back to why you're doing it and keep that at the center.
No, that's a very powerful thing that you chose to talk about, because it's how I call it, and it was like a fall that I did in the past to, where I was blinded by my own spotlight.
Right.
And we know that in the Word of God it says, be careful when you think you're standing and you're actually falling.
True.
And we think that, I be on that fall, I'll never fall in that area, we reach. And then you make a decision because you think you'll never face the consequence. That's what would happen with me. Face the consequence. And I was about to lose everything in one moment.
Yeah.
And I think, and then you had to know, okay, God, allow me to heal and all this. And then you had to go through that moments where you had to detox yourself and strip yourself from everything. And I think that was a good choice. Now, do you think there was a moment in one of those mistakes that you would have made in terms of it yourself that you saw that you could have lost everything?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I probably had a few of those. You know what I mean? And thank God for grace and mercy. I think.
Mercy.
Yeah, I think God gives us a lot of chances.
Correct.
And the onus is on us whenever He is gracious towards us in terms of consequences, that we take a little time to reflect, reassess, and reroute back onto the path.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like with life there's opportunity to try again, and that was my takeaway from a lot of those seasons.
Yeah. Yeah, of course, and we learn from it and we move on, but it's important to obey the pause.
True.
And I think you probably really did, because now God is having you back out there, or not back out there, but you know what I mean, like placing you right there in the position that you need to place, and it's because He trusts you with what He has given to you, which is a gift, what we started with, you know. So let's go back again a little bit into the music. And we know we talk about the love music, we talk about Forever Plus One, and everybody have that burning question, right? In terms of, so Brian, we never really realized. Now I could be wrong. Now this is why you could correct me and be like, no, Ghenere, you missed that. They missed that information, right? So this is why you say, Ghenere, you missed that one.
Ghenere, you missed that one. Right.
So it's like, okay, you sing love music, you write beautifully. And you write like you're actually experiencing something like that. It's deep words. How Ryan, and I'm saying Nathanael, right? Ryan Levi, Nathanael Hamilton, right? Never went public with somebody.
How?
Yeah.
I feel like you missed that.
I missed that one?
Yeah, I feel like
so you ever went public with anybody?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, nice. So are you single or are you in a relationship right now?
Currently?
Yes.
I'm waiting on the Lord.
You did not just give that answer. Ladies and gentlemen, he did not just give that answer. You're waiting on the Lord. Yeah. Okay, nice. Okay, good. Well, I can't say anything because true love waits here too, so waiting on the Lord. So you understand? So it's important. So right, that's fine. So how do you think you get to write those songs? Like if you're writing to someone and in that place of waiting and even being single?
I always tell people what I lacked in experience. I found an example.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I think for me,
to ease. Yeah,
you can write from hearing other people's stories and sharing those stories. Some people will share their stories in conversations, some in sermons, you know what I mean? Some in their writings or their posts. And for me, I'm being inspired by that a lot. I've felt it as well, you know what I mean? Having experienced love in relationships. So yeah, I just want to bring something real, something genuine, and something that's a blessing to people.
What do you want people to get from Forever Plus One, that message?
I mean, I've been seeing it in all the tags. I think it's to see love, view love, receive love, and define love differently. Yeah, simply put.
Nice. Well, Ryan, we're very thankful how you were open to everyone. I think open to the persons that love you and the persons that you love. And I know it probably wasn't easy. It's never easy being vulnerable. How do you feel right now?
I mean, a little open.
Yeah.
You know, but comfortable.
Of course, yeah. Brave vulnerability.
Sure.
That's what we do. And brave vulnerability is exactly what he wants you all to do. And Ryan is really working on the fact of not just with the music and not just with love, but he really wants to make sure that his brand and the gifts that he has and the gifts that God has given him creates that vulnerability and that space for you. 1, to be brave to receive love. 2, to be brave in order to give love. And 3, in order to understand that the gifts that God has given you, you need to be open in order to give the world. So I hope that you enjoyed our conversation. It was beautiful. And see you on
November 6th, Forever Plus One, the album.
I got my eye. Want to take a different type of woman to capture my mind, capture my heart.